There's about 6 months left of this bull market and a chance for you to change your life. And this bull market is going to present you with life-changing opportunity in a very short amount of time. You probably won't believe it. But I'm going to share some charts with you that show you why I think the next 5 to 6 months are going to be extremely important. As Bitcoin begins to move to the upside, it begins to get more aggressive and aggressive as the move becomes more parabolic and straight up with almost no breaks. You can see what that looks like based on past performance with very little breaks as opposed to what we've had now. We've had months of consolidation phase, 200 days there and 100 days right there. Back here, we didn't really have any. We had about 42 days of consolidation at the most, but for the most part, it was up only for about 400 days, almost a straight year of green candles. And the same thing could be said back here with a sideways move of about 20 days, but otherwise we had up only for about 252 days. So that's what we're about to see, except it's not going to be for 252 days, I don't think. I think it's going to be about 160 days of up only, and that's where most of the gains will come this cycle. As Bitcoin begins to move up, the sentiment around alts will begin to improve when it reaches the end of the topping phase, and then money will start to flow down the risk curve, meaning small caps, medium caps, and everything in between will get to pump as long as people see value in it. So I'm going to show you a chart that illustrates why the next 5 to 6 months is potentially the top of the market cycle. And all we have to do is go to the others chart to check this out. Now, if we look at this chart, I've pretty much marked out the tops and bottoms of the market with these blue vertical lines. And you can see all the way back in January 2018, even earlier here, but I'm not going to go that far back because it's a bit irrelevant with the small caps that didn't really exist back then. So right here, we have a top in January 18. And then we've got the bottom on November. That was pretty much the first big alt cycle that we saw where Litecoin started popping off, Dash, IOTA, EOS, all those different coins that most of which don't really exist right now. And then we had the next bull run, which topped out in November of 2021. And then we bottomed in December of 2022. So as you guys can see, these dates right here show you January, December, November, December. Tops and bottoms occur between these 3 months, November, December, or January. Next up, we have December top of 2024 that happened recently. It wasn't the market top, but it was a significant top where the whole market took a hit and we dropped 60% from the highs. So that was another top right there. And we are coming up on the next important date, which is going to be November, December, or January of 2025 or 2026. And we have about 5 to 6 months left in this cycle. So between now and then, I do expect us to take out this top, which will allow us to accelerate within the alt market cap as we head into price discovery to start tackling 1 and 2 and possibly even $3 trillion on the alts. And this is where the opportunity lies. I don't think this opportunity is going to last forever. It's going to be a small window, as you guys can see right here. When we began to break this top in 2021, the top came in about 300 days, which is a lot of days for a bull cycle. But really, we had a dip in between. We took a couple of months break and then we got going again. I don't know if we'll get this double pump scenario again. I could be wrong, but I'm not going to really chance it. Instead, I'm going to aim for about, I said 162 days left in the market cycle. Well, this is 140 days of pumpage before we dumped. I think that's pretty reasonable. And we can project that out into the future with about 188 days for alts to pump. On top of that, we have Bitcoin dominance beginning to fall. We're already seeing alts pump extremely hard. If you just go to my memes section right here and you go check it out, we've got memes pumping across the board pretty much. And this is just off a little drop on Bitcoin dominance. And I do think we're going to go much, much lower, possibly back to this 40% section right there. We can see back in 2017, that's also where we hit. So it's not out of the question we hit this one more time as alts begin to take market share towards the end of the cycle. We didn't even get to the top just yet, not saying we won't, but right now we look like we're breaking down. We even have divergence on the 3-day on the Bitcoin dominance. So this breakdown could continue, but I do want to see us take this low out before I get too comfy. We still have to take out that 61% low as we begin reversing the trend. And instead of making higher highs, we're making lower lows. So we're still waiting for that. And on top of that, we have USDT continuing to break down. We took a look at this chart earlier on my channel as we begin to see definitive breakdowns. And I want to continue to see this trade sideways and break down instead of moving towards the upside, because any move to the upside would mean capital is flowing into stable coins, which means they're selling off their assets. So we don't really want to see that. We want to continue to see this dominance fall to the downside or continue trading sideways as some sectors begin to pop off while others take a break. And the 3 sectors I'm going to be focused on this cycle are DeFi, meme coins, and artificial intelligence. I think these are the only 3 that you need to pay attention to. There's a bunch of different assets you guys can take a look in here off of this list. One of them is Hyperliquid, which has performed extremely well from $8 off the bottom. And then we have Aave, the blue chip of the DeFi ecosystem. Curve and Convex as well. They have been performing extremely well for the past 5 days. I think they're the top gainers if we just filter by 7 days. We have Convex Finance right there, and then a DEX of 1 inch, 65%. Curve as well, 50%. So a lot of DeFi coins are going to be taking market share, I think. And if we just take a look at the individual total market caps, you can see DeFi is leading with breaking the top of the May 2025 era and consistently putting in new highs right there. Let's take a look at memes over here. Memes haven't quite performed as well as DeFi. They didn't take out the May highs yet. I do think they will follow. And AI is lagging the most with a follow-up with the breakthrough we had back on the 12th of July. So DeFi is leading, memes are next, and AI is to follow. I think that's the order they're going in right now. This may change, but I would avoid over-rotating within these sectors and trying to catch every move. Instead, I would allocate a little bit into DeFi, a little bit into meme coins, and a little bit into AI. AI is the smallest market cap by far and possibly poised to capture the most, but I know that there is regulation, which is DeFi favored. So I would also be paying close attention to the DeFi ecosystem, specifically Aave, Convex, and Curve. These two are tied together, so I wouldn't go all in to either or. I would simply put 60% into Curve and 40% into Convex to capture the upside without being too overexposed. And the meme coin market cap, I've spoken about memes extensively. I've told you guys about SPX, Fartcoin, Mogcoin. I think Ethereum meme coins are going to overtake Solana meme coins for the time being as Ethereum begins to grab more attention and people start pivoting over there. Not to mention the fact that we don't really have a pump fund on Ethereum. So I think Ethereum meme coins are poised to capture market share for the next few months. And for AI, Tau is the leading AI and has been since 2023, currently valued at $4 billion. I wouldn't be surprised to see this go over $1,000, but AI is the newest sector to come out of crypto only recently. And I think there's going to be more speculation to this, which might drive AI much, much higher because we don't know how to price it completely yet. And out of this sector, I would say BitTensor, one of the leaders, as well as Virtuals. And then from there, it gets a little bit harder to figure out who might win. I've heard a little bit of noise about Quebec, but not too much. And then obviously the Virtuals ecosystem is worth looking at. So there's a lot of choices and not much time, which is why I would simply lean more into DeFi memes rather than AI, but still have some exposure to AI in case I am wrong. I can't see the future. I'm just taking the best bets I can with the knowledge I have. But I do think all these sectors are going to take out their all-time highs. We've got all-time highs on AI at 100 billion. Meme coins are at 140 billion and total DeFi sitting at about 200 billion. So I expect all these to be taken out massively as we start heading towards maybe 400 or 500 billion for DeFi while the others follow. So make sure you're positioned correctly for the next couple of months. Don't fumble the bag, don't over rotate, just sit in the bags and hold with conviction, because once the cycle is over, you're going to want to take your profits and hold them in cash or stable coins so you can play the next cycle again whenever that cycle comes. The name of the game here is survival. Don't fall into herd mentality. A lot of people will tell you to hold for higher and higher and higher after the December mark. And there might be a higher left, but the key here is to understand that with every cycle top comes a bust. And you guys can see the bust is not pretty. It's about 80% to the downside. And the great thing about that is if you have cash, you can simply buy everything you like on a discount for about 80% and watch as some coins die and the other one survives. And I've been through multiple of these, and it's not a fun experience to hold your bag down 80%. Trust me, I've been there, and you don't want to go through that. So with that said, guys, I'm going to continue posting videos about coins I'm watching. And if you're interested in specific coins, make sure to leave a comment down below and let me know what you want me to take a look at. Otherwise, I will see you guys on Saturday as I post 3 times a week.